me feel like home. You turn around, I feel the breeze over me. You watch your dreams unfold. Let it come around and let it breathe over me. It's time to go away into the light. I feel the coming
PG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. LGD's turn to ban. PG's turn to ban. LGD's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. LG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. LGD's turn. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. LGD's turn. LG's turn to ban. LGD's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. EG's turn to pick.
Enchantress.
EG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. LGD's turn to pick.
Abyssal Underlord!
10 seconds remaining. G's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. LGD's turn to pick.
Ember Spirit.
Five seconds remaining. Choose your hero.
Fanboy has gone the LGD, as we've said, storied organisations, storied players, and they're about to create a new chapter in that story with Game 1 of semi-final number 2.
That's right, a lot of history here and a lot of future ahead for the TI8 season. It just begins for these two teams here at this tournament, both looking to be able to capture their first grand finals. LGD looking kind of spicy here. They pick up the Ursa, but boy, Blitz, is it good versus EG's lineup? Is it finally time for an Ursa game?
This might actually be the one game where it's an Ursa game.
That one game. What's wrong with Ursa? Anyway, like
gets kind of too easily. Laning phases, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. Item scaling, not the best. Talent tree's mediocre.
Jesus.
He gets a Roshan, though.
Is there anything else, Will? Jeez.
Team fight is whatever. Very single target based. Late game scaling is pretty mediocre, too. But that's why
anybody
you have a
wants
CK.
the transcript of that essay about why Ursa is garbage.
He's not garbage. He's just... it's like
Just
my
not
least
good
favorite
enough.
word in the world, but like he's situation.
Situational.
Which means that he's bad in most situations,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's good in this one, I think.
Meanwhile, EG running a pit lord. And they're also trying to go into the jungle, but against a Wyvern. Pops the Arctic Burn. Looks like nobody's really interested in that. Shout out to Scriff, of course. We've got our Swedish observers back. Thank you very much to Scriff and Wepas, saving Lyrical and I from the T-Tours.
Dude, you guys did a job. So anyway, in mid, it's going to be that Ember versus Ursa matchup, which is pretty difficult, I think, for Ember. He melee versus melee. Ursa just kind of right-clicks him.
There is really no way for EG to change the lanes to give them an advantage versus the Ursa, right? Like,
yeah.
The Lifestealer's not going to do well. Underlord's also not going to do well. Speaking of Underlord, he's actually kind of in a tough lane. Chaos Knight does do a lot of damage, but he's got Crit's Wisp, who's going to be sitting him by the side, and they're actually going to wrap around behind with Fear as well, trying to go on Ame, see if they can get that early kill while the roll-in comes in on the Ember Spirit at the same time. EG managed to push back the Chaos Knight, and at the same time, Mr. S, Mr. Smail, is going to be having to keep his distance against the Rabid Bear.
Yeah, just a really annoying matchup for the Ember. Because, yeah, you have Flame Guard, but Ursa doesn't really care. He just right-clicks you during that distance anyways. And up at top, they were correct that it was going to be an offlane Enchantress. And Arteezy, yeah, he won't die or anything like that, but it is annoying. Like, the benefit of having this Lifestealer is that you can Rage in the mid-game and just pop her and he doesn't really care.
But in laning phase, you can't really do that too well, right?
Yeah, it's not really the same thing. Although he is going on her early on.
Without rage.
He needs some support if you were able to do this. But they're, in fact, trying to help out Universe as much as they can.
Just imagine if FY had a chance to be able to pick up a hard cam creep as well. Just because just the right clicks right now is winning the lane against RTZ.
Yeah, is he just blocking it out?
Yeah, he's blocking out every single time.
It's really smart. Because if you imagine that he gets the purple dude or anything like that.
No, he doesn't block it out this time. And it's a Hellbear Smasher too, so that's not exactly ideal for our tour if FY does manage to grab that one.
No levels of enchant though. I think he realizes when he went from that time and he just popped the heal, he was like, oh, he's got no levels of enchant, I'm fine.
Bottom lane, trying to go into Ame here. Doesn't throw out the charge while Ame was still underneath Firestorm, so they lose a little bit of damage as a result. They're going to have to back up, which Wyvern needs to run himself away because there are still 3 heroes here. Looks like he underestimated Evil Genius's numbers and does end up going down first blood to Universe.
Yeah, that's a payload that does quite a bit of base damage, even without that kill. So, no stuns on their side, but they don't really need it.
Yeah, absolutely not. And our Chaos Knight is going to be feeling those higher levels of Atrophy Aura too. That's going to be a significant decrease in damage for him. Yeah,
this is an annoying lane for a lot of people right now. Ame's not going to have an easy time at bottom, up at top. Kind of same story.
I really thought FY was going to get level 4 and go ahead and pick up the enchant, but still 2-0-2. Full on in the 1v1 lane.
Kind of weird situation. If you, at level 5 you grab it, then you can at least steal the catapult and just get really aggressive on this lane.
I like that idea.
Which is what most people do. Maybe this is like a 2-1-2 variation where he just wants to make it so he can't die. But both offlaners right now have been heavily prioritized. We see that reflected in the net worth as both carries are in a similar situation, like 5 gold off each other, and both offlaners also
but
the same.
Maybe this time the offlaner is going to end up dying to get the roll in from Yao to be able to slow down Universe and the Splinter Blast, but here comes Chris to be able to get the heal, and they've got the charge on through. They're slowing down Yao, and he actually is going to drop first before he can kill Crit, and now they've got a bash on a QQQ, get a lot of damage on him with the Firestorm as well. No extra bash from Universe, or excuse me, from Fear. He's not that lucky, but again, Evil Geniuses managed to pick up the kill in bottom lane after it's LGD starting the fight.
And I really like that decision by Fear to not back up there and for the entire team to commit, because Universe was quite low in that engagement, but he trusts his team to come in. Crit was probably saying, fight, 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 I'm on my way. Makes that a very easy pickup for them, as this offlane has been thoroughly won. And in this lane right here, does he decide to grab it? Yes. He was just going 2-on-2, and in preparation of the next wave with the catapult, he's just going to grab that and probably start getting really aggressive on this Lifestealer's tower.
Do you play around this at all if you're LGD? Do you try and enable FY? Or can you just not because it's a Lifestealer? This time it's going to be EG going on the offlaner, FY with the extra levels and heal, and is going to run out of the rage for the Lifestealer. So it looks like the combination of heal and untouchable is going to be enough to protect FY. Almost gets the courier too.
Just an annoying lane for everyone involved. And you see they do make that attempt, but I think it's a bit different when you try to make the move on the Lifestealer with the heroes that they have.
Yeah,
like, at best they're annoying, but they can't kill him. And
yeah,
at bottom,
it's just impossible.
They know
Universe,
everyone's up at top.
They know that the 2 supports are top lane, so they're going to try and finish off Universe. Ame does go ahead, pops Mango for the extra bolt. Not quite enough damage, it seems. They are going to be turned around on. Universe is just going to turn and fight. Finally, the Splinter Blast comes in. And it looks like that was probably the reason Universe turned and fought. He knew if he ran away, he was just going to get that extra nuke damage to come in. So he just decides to get as much damage as he possibly can.
Yeah,
before he goes down.
It was more like surprising because I thought there was a chance that he was going to get a kill.
Yeah.
He was almost certainly dead there. With that next creep wave coming in, plus the Reality Rift was back up on Ame. Still, a nice grab by LGD. It does cost them a lot. Like, he had to pop the Mango, and he's largely out of mana. So I think if the Pit Lord just runs down here again, it's going to be hard to complete that a second time around. And that's just kind of what the offlane sometimes transitions into, where it just becomes really difficult.
So what do you do as a support? Because you can't go top, it's a Lifestealer. You can't really protect bottom anymore, as Ame's just going to be charged up again. Evil Geniuses this time are brought Samael. Didn't want to stand in lane against the Earth anymore, so instead he goes out in the world, finds himself a purpose, gets some kills for his team.
Really easy kill for him, as you're right. Not a whole lot for him to do here, and I think Sumail is kind of like an antsy player. He wants to make stuff happen on the map. or he'd like to dominate the mid lane, but that option for him to dominate the mid lane isn't quite there, as this is an Ursa who has his level 6, has 4 levels in the Fury swipes, and is more than willing to battle.
Do you think Samael's the kind of player, you said call him antsy, is he kind of a player who just always needs to be winning? And if he's not able to sit in lane and win that, then he's kind of got to go out and get some kills.
Yeah, I think he's just one of those players that wants to create space on the map or do something. Plus, this mid lane is kind of a wash in that you're not going to be able to do much, but the hope is that at some point later on in the game, you can get more aggressive. And with this stolen catapult, he's just going to refresh it again. Doesn't have heal available though, and the TP is coming in.
Yeah, with Fear, they're bringing all 4 heroes. The triple Remnant Blast is still not enough to finish him off, but with 4 heroes surrounding FY, he was going to go down eventually. It's Arteezy who managed to pick up the kill. That's very important. Arteezy needs that comeback gold for sure. Almost has his level 6 as well. That'll make things a lot easier.
Did they just straight up charge the catapult?
Yeah, man. Got to get that catapult out of here. Don't let it do any more siege damage.
That's a lot of gold. I think he was trying to save it so that he could refresh the enchant when he was back alive. But that tower's still really low, and meanwhile, in this mid lane, maybe hasn't been touched at all.
Yep, they rotated heroes out multiple times. Ember Spirit is left to go bottom and now top lane. Maybe. Unfortunately, he's just not a hero that can really take a tower very quickly, but he is doing some significant chip damage over time.
Charge on mid.
They're really going to do anything here? They can't kill him, that's for sure. But maybe they can force him to pop and rage or something like that. He goes ahead, turns, fights up against Fear, missing the kick though.
And he's trying to get a little bit low, but I don't think this is going to lead to anything, as maybe still has that ultimate unforced on top of that Fairy Fire. I think he's wholly unconcerned with everything. They probably go Shrine together next, and then he just walks into the lane, repeats the cycle, although the bounty rune going to get stolen.
Mass pings. Top lane, FY is looking to be able to finish off this tier 1 tower. Misses the Centaur Stomp though. And Arteezy does have a chance to infest and take that one. Bottom lane, they're going to go for the charge out here. Was tier 1 tower about to drop from FY. Ame is very dead. He's going to be run under here. The Remnant to be able to finish him off. It looks like he did manage to get the tower from FY. So that's a big pickup. Back to bottom lane. Crit is going to end up dying here. Maybe makes his first rotation of the game in order to pick up a whisk kill, but won't be able to get anything else, as Universe is going to make sure everyone gets back to base safely. And Samael actually may return to this bottom lane with his Remnant out.
Yeah, resets everything a little bit, but overall a wash as both the offlaners continue to thrive. But for LGD's favor, this Ursa still doing very well for himself. Of course, Ursa really reliant on snowballing. You want to grab that Blink Dagger, grab a few kills, set it for the Roshan. But I don't think EG is going to make that Roshan particularly easy. So for them, they're going to have to get a little bit more map control before they go for an objective like that.
Two-man smoke up the top lane. They're hoping to be able to catch FY's Enchantress, but the truth is, Enchantress is actually mid. He's looking for the fast kill on Crit, just 3 shots him real easily, and now it's going to be EG having to make the rotation back over to mid. Still to look to kill FY, but in fact, they're going to get turned around on his Ames here. They still want to be able to kill him, but now a good save. The Cold Embrace is going to be able to completely stop Arteezy's timing with the Rage. Now that it's gone, the Untouchable is going to make FY survive through all of this. Ame goes ahead, pulls back Arteezy, thinking they could still have a chance to be able to pick up a kill here, but not actually able to. 4-5 LGD do have the lead here in the laning phase.
Yeah, meanwhile at bottom, that Ursa picks up a free kill on that Pit Lord with the reveal of the Blink Dagger. Very strong right now. And that was a huge kill for him because that Pit Lord is doing quite well for himself. Yeah, they're going to get very aggressive here. Yeah. He's got Invis Rune too. Walking towards mid, but EG should know that this is happening, and maybe he's running away, trying to make them think that he's still coming there, but might just farm Ancients or something.
He's sitting at 5,000 net worth with the Blink Dagger around that 9-minute mark. And looks like he still wants to be able to pick up a later bottle here. He's going to start making his way into the jungle. Of course, EG saw the invis, and it's kind of expected that maybe would make an aggressive move here. So they're kind of paired up just to make sure.
Yeah, this is a really aggressive move that he's making right now, but I think he's going to notice. Plus, the invis is running out. He really wants to grab
can infest, Spirit Breaker can charge. It seems like a hard kill to get.
Yeah, he's being pinged out too. That ward just placed there by Fear. They're going to know that this is happening, and I think that he should be somewhat aware. If you notice that Arteezy's trying not to reveal the fact that they have a ward,
yeah,
that is quite important, because if he started running right now, maybe he would just say, oh, they've got vision here, and he's trying to trust his ability to just infest and run away.
And that's pretty easy for him. But mid is being taken by LGD. The big tower advantage. Bottom lane, they're going to go on Universe here to silence up. He does have a TP as well as his ultimate, but it looks like the pure damage from FY is just too much for him to handle. So the offlaner brings down the opposing offlaner, FY, the one to triumph here.
That is an insane amount of damage that he put out right there. Cuts through that pit lord with no issues. Unfortunately, had to use the enchant to slow down the pit, so he can't use it for the catapult himself. But
Seems
still,
like LGD are just systematically taking objectives.
Yeah. Their Ursa was denied like 2 opportunities, but as a result, it was creating some space so that they could make that bottom play, and they took that mid tower. Plus, Arteezy, I mean, he kind of had to risk that because if you start running away, then you give up that ward location.
Yeah.
And LGD, you know, they play very well around these wards. Plus, if you lose that ward, that Roshan area becomes a lot more difficult to defend.
Right. And it's a fresh ward, so it's really important to be able to keep it up.
Yeah.
Like if it was a ward that dies in 1 minute, who cares, right?
And that's something that people should just, in general, consciously think about is, like, if I move, what kind of ward am I, what kind of vision am I giving up, what information am I giving up away as well. But LGD, they're going to smoke up. Looks like they want to make an aggressive move, place a ward down at the same time, get some ward vision while trying to make something happen around this bottom area, the last tier 1. And I think Universe is aware, hiding in that corner.
Is this the tower that Evil Geniuses finally stops conceding and fights LGD?
I'm not sure. Arteezy, though, he's going to
he's going to be silenced up right away. Maybe he's going to be able to get the slow down here, but finally the silence finishes off, and he is able to pop the rage. Has the extra movement speed to stay ahead of Maybe. Now, Universe is hoping to be able to draw the attention away from this tower, but he has to leave soon. Doesn't get pulled back quite by Ame. To the safety of the trees, Universe will survive, and he'll try and stall out this tower push just a little bit longer.
And that should have been a kill on the Lifestealer. If the kick flies out half a second sooner,
yeah,
they get that kill. Spirit Breaker charge coming through. Does he intend to
just
complete this though?
No, man. I think he was just trying to go for vision there, but ends up getting caught by Ame. And Yao pops the shrine, is still surviving through all of this one. And now the turnaround. Oh no, Samel's going to be able to jump in right to the middle of everyone. Universe with the double kill there is able to cleave down another. They do manage to get the Spirit Breaker. No uphill miss there. FY prances himself away with the extra movement speed from drums as well as the phase boot. So Evil Geniuses do make sure they contest this bottom tower. They pretty much gave up both top lane and mid, but finally they say enough is enough. They've reached their mid-game point where they've got a Lifestealer with an armlet and an Ember Spirit who's got plenty of levels.
And very well done by EG, holding the line there as Fear lived for way too long. There was half a second where I thought he was just going to not die at all.
Yeah.
But if there was an uphill miss, he would have lived right there, and that would have been pretty absurd because they committed a lot just trying to kill him. And Arteezy, he really wants to secure this tower as he's going to click it down, but Universe is here, going to try to help him out. This might just get denied. Not sure how hard they want to commit for this as they are showing their CK up at top, so I think this is going to be go time.
Here comes the TP in from the CK. They're trying to finish off the tower to make sure there's no more teleports. Good Winter's curse being laid out on Samel is going to be able to buy FY a lot of time to get some heals out. Universe recognized this is not a good fight. They're trying to get out of here. Arteezy so low, they just need to be able to bring him down. He invests inside, they all get away. Evil Geniuses, a clean escape. Even if they don't claim the bounty of the tower, it saved them from disaster.
That would have been so bad for them if they lost their carry there, and they got the tower denied. Very well done by both teams, actually.
Yeah, that was just stellar moves.
As they make it out clean. Game resets a little bit. 1K lead right now for LGD, but no overall large change there as
the charge back here. Fear keeping an eye on people.
Yeah, they are smoked up right now. It looks like they wanted to try to take an engagement if LGD broke up, because there's no more tier 1 tower to TP2. And at the same time, the CK is very underfarmed. Only level 8 cap. He's got a bottle to his name. Not even close to that armlet, which is a very cheap item.
Yeah, this is the big difference between our Lifestealer and our Chaos Knight, right? Is that Lifestealer took a timeout from the game, farmed up his items, didn't give a damn about the towers dropping, while Ame was playing a lot more objective-based with his team, moving with them to take objectives and willing to fight, even if it cost him farm.
Yeah, and that's a little bit too self-sacrificial. At the same time, expecting all three of these cores to have a very good game, a little bit too greedy.
Yeah, after all, you said not everyone can, and we definitely had a good game so far on both Maybe and FY.
Yes.
So
your other two heroes are just going to have to pull a little bit more weight. And there's a bit more equal distribution on the side of EG in terms of farm. This Ursa, though, very far ahead. Almost has a Diffusal Blade already completed at just 16 minutes in. Not opting to go for the mask and go for that early Roshan. I think he realizes that EG will contest those. And nothing is free in games like this.
Ame. No, they just chase him away. I thought maybe they would try for the Chaos Bolt, see if Sumail doesn't dodge it, but they just run at him, force him to use his defensive remnant back. Fear is smoked up and getting some aggressive vision down inside of the jungle. Does get popped now by Yao and looks to charge himself to safety. Not wanting to get caught by anybody. Ame hoped to be able to intercept Fear there. Just a little bit shy there on the distance.
Not able to find that angle. Really wanted to try to get that pull in the stun, but even a Spirit Breaker kill at this point is going to be worth a lot to this CK, as there is quite an ancient stack, but who really farms that?
That is a good question.
I guess the Ursa is the best candidate.
I mean, do you ever pop Phantasm to farm? I don't think so.
I'm not sure you're... I don't know if his
You're not
illusions are strong enough
to do it, yeah. Especially since one of the camps is the Prowlers. Ugh.
Yeah. That was obliterate the illusions.
No.
It's okay, though. Farm something at some point. The Ursa can grab it pretty easily.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal for him. And
It's
it
just
is
not
some
going to be
farm
that
later on.
fast clear that we normally like to see from like Svens and stuff.
It's alright, though. Still good habit. If you're walking by the ancient camp, stack it.
It does feel like LGD are prioritizing that growth and farm over, say, looking for kills right now with this Ursa as he's reaching this big peak. I mean, this is one of the biggest peaks when he first gets Blink Dagger. Now he's got Diffuser Blade.
Yeah, they took those early engagements. I think they don't want to throw this Ursa's lead. They want to continue to allow him to scale up a little bit.
Okay.
And his next big power spike is probably going to be around the time he grabs that BKB.
I mean, that's fair enough, because nobody really counters the Ursa in this game from Evil Geniuses, so he really can't just keep scaling up, and it's not like a hero is going to be able to outscale him with less net worth.
Do you think he goes Axe this game? Over going something like the BKB?
It's okay
as
for
bottom?
Spirit Breaker, I think that's the biggest thing. FY is going to be caught, though. Brought down with the power of Relocate, Raged Up Lifestealer. A lot of extra attack speed given to him. But that does mean Crit's going to get caught. He knows it too. That's why he left the Lifestealer alone.
He abandons him. Says, this one's mine to tank. Somebody has to die for the cause. We don't all get to choose.
That man is Crit. How do you think he's looked since being able to go back to playing the 4 position and having Fear take over the captain role?
Pretty good. We have not a lot of sample size to work with so far. Like half of a tournament. But it's not looking bad at all. And
no, I want to say I don't see the old Crit just yet. So
he's been focusing primarily on playing these like Wisp-based heroes.
Yeah.
But Crit for a while was like the trump card Wisp, right? For both OG and now EG. And this is going to be an important win or loss either way. If EG wins with the Crit Wisp, it gives them a drafting advantage. He will probably load the Bannit. They'll just get rid of it. But if they win against it, it'll give them a lot of confidence. And here's the first step towards that win is they're going to go for the Roshan here. With the DD rune, I don't think EG have any way of knowing this is happening. It's quite quick. He blinked in there, so they had no vision. And they dewarded that top area with that sentry. So absolutely no issues in grabbing that.
Yeah, really great play seeing, as you said, like EG are going to make taking Roshan pretty tough. And LGD did not try and rush it. They're going to try and go for Arteezy here, but he does have Infest.
He's got Diffusal, though. I think he wants to chase this.
He's got the Relocate out, but no, they managed to grab Crit. And maybe is going to give up on that kill as it gets close to the tier 3 tower. So they still get a kill out of it, and they can still pressure this tier 2.
If you notice, by the way, Universe went for that Solar Crest first. Wants to try to grab the Guardian Greaves. Also has a cloak on him, which is a bit curious. There's not too much magic damage on the side of LGD. I guess the Earth Spirit ultimate is a little annoying, as well as everything that the Winter Wyvern puts out, which is like 1 spell.
Yeah, that is really curious. Like normally when you see value cloak, it's a really value cloak game.
Yeah.
Not so much here, but the Solar Crest, tons of value, that's for sure.
Very good item against both the Ursa and the Chaos Knight, because neither of these heroes really like going for the Bloodthorn or going for the MKB.
Yeah.
Like going for MKB on both these heroes is really annoying, because you're just grabbing it and it doesn't add any utility to your skill set. Like it doesn't make CK any happier. Like he'd prefer to get items like Heart.
So you'll probably get it eventually on maybe, but you're pretty much never going to get that item for Chaos Knight. Neither one of them, right?
Yeah. Still.
Fear with a charge in with an infested Lifestealer does get kicked up. He's trying to main out. They throw out the silence, and it does catch Arteezy as he pops out too, so that immediately kills his rage. They just get a free support kill. Arteezy still ticked up by the Earth Spirit ultimate, managed to get the disarm onto Maybe, and there's the Ember Spirit going in, managed to kill the support, almost got the Winter Wyvern too as he backs himself away. Maybe, knowing that he's out of remnants, hope to be able to catch Sumail, is unable to do so though. Sumail runs to the east, and Maybe straight up to the north, catching that wave pushing in.
Did you say to the east?
I mean, you know, sometimes I get directions wrong, Will.
Come on, man. That's like one of the basic things.
Never eat soggy waffles, damn it.
You could have just said left.
I don't know, William. Play-by-play is not an exact science, dude.
All right, fair,
It's
fair,
all
fair.
freeform.
Sometimes I gotta call you out on stuff
And
like
I'm
that.
not smart enough to be able to make it perfect. Maybe.
He's gonna get charged up.
They're gonna get a relocate in. This is not a kill they want to try for at all, are they? I mean, it's an Aegis, so LGD are going to be here for the second life, and I'm really worried about that for EG. They're going to try and get out, but they're going to get caught. 1 second stun only on Arteezy, so he's going to be able to pop the rage and turn against Ame, which is going to be able to prevent that. They start doing some damage to Arteezy, but he's still looking pretty healthy. It's Ame who's really in trouble. They managed to get the cold embrace on him. Now here comes FY, big damage dealer, but Ame is still in big trouble. The rest of the team's trying to help him out. He managed to run himself away. Arteezy's looking to get that kill, but on the tug of keeping him alive. So maybe he's getting kited out of his mind right now. He has to run himself away as his ultimate's wearing out. And EG handily take this fight. They just completely targeted the Chaos Knight, made him a non-factor, and kited around the Earth the whole entire way, and they didn't feel FY's presence at all.
No, he was chucking spears around, but not really connecting on anything. Not enough damage to scare anyone on EG, and just a really clean fight overall as they take that 2-3. They only lose their 2 supports, but they grab that big Ursa core, which is so important for them. And it just looked like they didn't have enough lockdown for anybody.
Yeah, I have to say, I think Yao jumping in on the first life of Ursa felt really awkward, because then as he comes back, they have no spells to be able to throw down from the Earth Spirit, especially that follow-up disable when Ame hits Arteezy there and only gets a 1 second stun, which is so bad for him. They don't even have a kick from the Earth Spirit to follow that up.
Yeah, you notice they have a hard time walking anybody down EG. They fan in and out. And
Disables, man.
I mean, he almost survived there. He was working his ass off to try to live, but...
Yeah. More aggressive vision.
Yeah, not the cleanest fight. And I think this is going to signal the Ursa that he needs probably like a basher. He is going for the MKB after the
easy
KB.
setup. Look at, they saw the 2 supports. Sumail's going to lead things off. Winter's Curse gets laid down, but here comes Sphere charging in from the other side. Just bumping out, but it's enough time for Arteezy to get here. He's going to slow down QQQ, hoping to be able to get that kill, but there is the invis out. Oh, the long-range shots, though, from the Impetus is able to finish off the Spirit Breaker. Has to be careful of Arteezy. Does get halberded up. Maybe comes in. Goes straight for Sumail, forcing him to jump back to his remnants while Ame deals with Arteezy. Got the 2 second stun. Arteezy does not have an infest out of here, so he's going to have to somehow juke and get a TP away. Tries to go for it inside the trees. Good try, Arteezy, but no chance against 3 heroes, all 3 cores of LGD.
And they got just a little bit too over-aggressive there. Weren't able to set up the fight like they were in that upper river area. They wanted to take a consecutive fight, but at the same time, LGD perfectly sandwiched them. This time around, the CK was able to get his ultimate off and just span them out. Arteezy wasn't sure which target he was supposed to go for in that engagement.
Yeah.
And now this Chaos Knight has some measure of farm.
Yeah,
he's got an Echo Saber and an Armlet. At the same time, they lost the backline really quickly. The Ursa just immediately jumps crit. Without crit available, the fight becomes a little bit more complicated for EG, and they've got to be a little bit more patient when it comes to getting their cores in, as fake charge, maybe thought about it for a second.
So is that the objective for maybe? If he can't get, say, like the Wisp, does he jump the Ember Spirit every single time and force him to use one of those defensive remnants?
I don't know. I feel like with heroes like Ursa, Storm, all these heroes that like immediately jump in, you want to try to burst somebody down as soon as possible, because you don't reset your attack speed very fast. Like, your attack speed is still really mediocre on this hero, even with the talent and everything.
I guess the advantage I see is that if he doesn't have a defensive remnant out, and you Diffusal Blade him, his remnant is going to go out really slow if he tries to get away from the Ursa. And that could just completely kill any of the offensive elements of the Ember Spirit. If he has to jump out of the fight entirely at the beginning, or he has to throw like multiple slow remnants just to get some distance.
For the most part, though, I think Ursa wants to try to jump crit,
Yeah.
Burst him down as fast as possible.
That's definitely target number one for sure.
It always is against Wisp lineups, and that's why Wisp positioning is so important. You need to play behind your heroes, and they need to blindly frontline and tank for you as much as they can. Otherwise, your game is really difficult.
And that's where a hero like Underlord really comes in handy, because he's not just a frontliner, but he's also a secondary source of mitigation, right? He's able to pop the Solar Crest on whoever's being gone on. He has the mech as well, so you don't feel rushed as Crit to immediately jump in as soon as there's initiation from LGD.
Yeah, and Ursa now has a BKB. We saw how annoying the change was. He wants to try to save his ulti for a bit later in that engagement. And the next Aegis Chi is going to be huge.
That'll definitely be the opportunity for LGD to take over the game.
Yeah. And CK, using his illusions, probably going to show the mid to shove out that lane. LGD making a very aggressive maneuver upwards, but they're not going to find anyone here. Maybe if they cut all the way down, but Crit's ready for this, as is the Underlord, who...
Maybe they'll run into Crit first. We'll see. He's going to go ahead and jump forward. QQQ is kind of baiting Universe. Now they've spotted Crit. Crit goes. They both going to go for the relocate out of this one. But they caught Sumail, and they've got him silenced. So maybe they can actually finish him off here, but the silence doesn't fade away. Ember Spirit not able to jump, though also going to be able to get Crit.
They use the relocate and the Pit Lord ulti.
Yeah.
You only want to try to use the Pit Lord ult, but Crit thought, danger time, we got to get out of here. And a little bit of miscommunication, and all of a sudden, despite that excellent top fight, that seems like ages ago, is now it's a 5k lead in favor of LGD. Roshan will spawn relatively soon. They're going to grab this tier 1, grab all the outer towers.
And if you can get this BKB on both the Ursa, who's already got it, as well as the Chaos Nade, like, say goodbye to your kiting mechanisms for EG.
You're going to get shut down pretty hard here, as the Ursa is now starting to scale out of his mind. That was a huge kill for them on that Ember Spirit.
17 to 14, 28 minutes in, a 6,000 gold lead. Evil Geniuses, they're supposed to hit their mid-game swing right now with a Life Stealer and Ember Spirit. They've got the mech up on the Underlord, but they just can't seem to win these engagements against LGD. But there is one of the most important engagements of all game. The next Roshan fight is coming up. It is going to be both Aegis and Chi, so still plenty of opportunities for EG to swing this game into their favor.
Yeah, and LGD right now, they're trying to bait out this bottom area. If nobody from EG bites, then I think they know they're going to be in that Roshan area, and that's where QQQ is pinging right now. He's saying, guys, no one's there. And EG... It's difficult for them to go for the Roshan themselves. Like, hard committing for that, I think, is a rough idea.
Yeah.
And so that's where the danger lies, is they can't all sit there. And this is why this trap bottom is being set right now. Sumail, gonna slide a fist in. Where's the kick? Where's the silence? Here we go.
Managed to get the silence first, plus the extra slowdown. Just needs to be able to follow up with a stun. They've got an easy kill for themselves. So a pickoff like that, immediately going to the Roshan pit. Love this fast decision-making from LGD.
And with no buyback on the Ember, and you notice FY all the way in front has a creep.
I mean, yeah,
Fear's now on that cliff. He's going to have to force himself to charge away.
With the Ember Spirit gone, they don't really have that burst damage against FY.
Yes.
He can go ahead and just challenge most of EG and keep them away from the pit.
Yeah, if you consider it like this, if EG had a lineup that could very quickly do Roshan, similar to LGD's, then they can just go in and threaten it themselves. But LGD doesn't fear that at all. They're like, we have flying vision as well. We can always just send in a creep from the Enchantress. So the vision game is heavily in their favor. Whereas for EG, they kind of have to be around that area. They were gathered around waiting for that opportunity. And LGD set that trap at bottom. They pushed in the wave and they waited for a full minute. EG probably thought, he's farming Ancients near that Roshan pit. Like, we're just playing this standstill game. Let me just go shove out this lane real fast and reset the game a little bit. And if you're confused as to why Sumail had to do that, well, you can't just wait around that pit for 2 minutes with nothing happening.
Just let the tier 2 be hit by creeps and stuff. Like, you're not getting any farm at that point.
Yeah. And if you think that LGD is just farming during that time, you do try to get a little bit more ahead right there. Not a greedy play, just a really good read from LGD.
Yeah. And the truth was, LGD was actually farming. It was just the Chaos Knight on the Ancients, and it was pretty much solely Winter Wyvern who was pushing in mid. He was kind of the constant presence saying, hey, we've got people mid here. We're showing up around this Roshan pin. Look out. And that's one of the big advantages of Wyvern.
And those are the kind of risks that you sort of have to take, is you have to show yourself because if nobody shows themselves, then there's a lot of different assumptions that the enemy team can make, and they'll just take the heroes. It kind of triggers this thing in EG. Okay, some heroes are showing guys, they're clearly all there, because there's no way that they would make this kind of play otherwise. But it's sort of a fake out, because LGD, they're not afraid of getting gone on, because EG, they won't take that fight. They don't have vision up there. They're just kind of letting their presence be known more than anything. And now there's a BKB completed on the CK, level 20 on Ursa, almost has that MKB at the same time. And an Orchid is fully completed on FY. So this is going to make Sumail's life a lot harder as they're all gathered around this bottom area. He's Orchided up.
Gotta be, oh, the follow-up silence from Yao as well.
And another kill on this Ember Spirit, so important for them. This might even trigger them into going for the high ground.
Yeah, you might as well, right? At least force Evil Genius's back. If not, maybe get that tier 3 with the Phantasm from Ame. Let's see if he's going to pop it. They're going to go for Universe kill first, and they might be able to get him too. Crit is actually going to get kicked and silenced up. What a great play from Yao, stopping all of that action from EG. It's an easy push. RTZ's just going to try and take a tier 2 because he can do nothing else. They have to kiss this bottom lane of Rax goodbye.
And a buyback is forced onto Sumail, but without the Pit Lord available, his presence does not scare them whatsoever. He's going to play really far back. RTZ thinking about investing, but they're just going to go for 2. They've got the Aegis. They feel very comfortable about this push right now, and without a buyback on the Pit Lord, there's no wave clear. Aside from the Sleight of Fist, they're not worried about this at all. LGD pushing forward right now, trying to get a second set of racks. Silence onto Arteezy.
Oh, they're going to pull back straight to Ame with a 3-second stun. A big hit. Crit is unable to save him once again. Universe is a bit too late with his mech as well. LGD are going to have to retreat now, though. And EG are going to try and push out, but stumble into the Winter's Curse, which is all just a setup for LGD to be able to get the stun silence on this Sumail. He's dead. Fear tries to charge through LGD, but it's just not going to find any success here. And it's cleanup time. LGD will take everything EG's got, as well as this game number 1.
Oh, wow. LGD played this game so well in the mid game. They baited out that Roshan. Their first Roshan was very good. Their second Roshan was even set that up. That kill attempt at bottom, the 2 times they picked off the Ember Spirit.
You and me are bored of regularities, living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting high on love. They can chase us down, but we will always win. Leading every dance, feeling every touch, and getting high on love. We're invincible. Trust in me, we're invincible. Don't you see, we're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. Let's escape the gray and let the colors rain. Turn the shit we do and our words into pure reality. 'Cause you and me are meant to be what they don't see. Never feeling wrong 'cause we don't belong. And getting high in love. We're invincible. Trust in me, we're invincible. Don't you see, we're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible.
not planning on taking the bat themselves.
Yeah.
That's
Is that the bat is the reaction to the fact that they lost the Wyvern? Perhaps they were thinking Wyvern?
It's very good versus Wyvern.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's a cold embrace. Bat Rider, just you can get a couple more sticky stacks and you can drag people out of position, or you can just initiate on
I think
the
he was
Wyvern.
talking about the Knicks.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
The Knicks versus Winter Wyvern I don't think is particularly troublesome.
10 seconds.
But the bat's a problem here, and they pick both their supports. So
5 seconds.
usually you pick your supports to deal with the Bat Rider. We've seen Kunkka Defensive X.
Yeah.
We've seen Oracle
Yeah.
and Vengeful Spirit. But a lot of times you just do need some way to deal with the Bat Rider. We saw how devastating it was yesterday versus the Anti-Mage. And like it's just very difficult to itemize. So you want inherent abilities in your heroes to actually deal with it.
They could pick some Legion Commander.
Yeah, Legion Commander is actually very good.
Legion Commander for Universe, one of the best ones, yeah. Or I mean, we haven't seen this one, but Universe playing Wyvern, I don't think it's very likely, but and then they pick some other kind of 5 hero.
Tell you what we have seen. Oh, well, no, because I can't ignore me. I just rebound. I was going down a dead end.
Shaker Ban and Lone Druid. Lone Druid being one of the more successful heroes for EG. They've won every game with it here. And they can do the 1v1 matchup that they love to do.
I like Lone Druid versus the Bat too.
Yeah.
It's very hard to actually catch the Druid.
LGD's turn to ban.
Banning out the AM. What to ban out AM?
Maybe they want to pick Storm.
Think so. I think they want some of that, either Storm or Ember Spirit. Pretty good versus Bat Rider, and pretty decent versus Jakiro.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, Storm seems pretty good here. With these picks.
5 seconds remaining. EG's turn to pick.
What did LGD ban last game? Is that the same things?
Wasn't Bloodseeker banned out?
It was Bloodseeker and Pugna, right? In the last game that they banned? Yeah.
We mentioned a Bloodseeker not particularly good versus a Bat Rider. Just die at the start of the fight with not really much counterplay to that. So EG,
5 seconds remaining.
how will they deal with Bat Rider?
Some Vision heroes are usually pretty decent versus it, but everything's kind of taken out.
Yeah, they don't play Keeper either.
No. I think Legion's probably like still the best one. Or is it the offlane Bane?
Brilliant yesterday.
This seems risky though versus Bat. I mean, they could run a Drow strat again, right?
Could.
Because they have the Wyvern on their side?
Yep.
I think that could be likely.
Possible.
Like a Visage into Drow, or a Drow into Visage.
Sure.
And
They
then
won't
just do a
get-
substitute. They can't
Surely,
get both.
though,
Yeah.
LGD see this coming.
But they could do, the thing is what they could do is they pick Visage next, and then instead of having Drow last, they pick the Vengeful Spirit, so they can have also the swap interaction versus the Bat Rider as well.
That'd be nice.
And then you do at least get the amplified damage with the Visage plus Venge,
They
at
could
least
just
for EG.
pick Drow and Storm too.
Or Drow and Storm, yep. They've got a couple options.
Interesting.
The Bane coming out again, it's...
How impressed were you yesterday with the Bane from Universe?
I was more impressed with the Drow pick.
Yeah. It was
It was a super easy game, I would say.
Yeah.
last pick Drow into
yeah.
low armor heroes with a Visage on your team. Pretty much the dream.
Against no anti-push.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Free win.
Free win.
They've got like one good way to stop the Fiend's Grip right now with the Ice Path. They probably want at least one more reliable one. And LGD, they don't want to be able to put in the trap where like the same thing that EG happens, so probably not picking just straight physical cores. Hard to kill heroes. Could be something like Phantom Lancer. They do like it. I don't know if they'll grab it here. Maybe
It's pretty good versus their lineup.
it's good versus EG's lineup, yeah.
But terrible team fight just in case you're worried about getting pushed down. Because right now you strat, right?
Yep.
It's, if they do a Drow strat, it's going to be Visage, Drow, and potentially Storm, I would say, I guess, if they wanted to last pick it. Or some other heavy ranged mid like Lina, I would say. Then you kind of have to keep your ears perked for whether or not they're going to do that. So with Lifestealer,
Okay, Lifestealer.
that's decent versus Bat Rider, but at the same time, it kind of works both ways, I would say.
Yeah, it's just a lane kind of thing, right? And it's going to alleviate the pressure from the two supports. So Crit can run around the Earth Spirit, Fear can play around more the mid lane / bottom lane. They're just going to, looks like probably sacking RTZ.
Very lacking in the shoe meta, though, aren't they?
They have to ban. They have to ban.
Yeah, you read that, I guess.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy, by the way. That was very fun.
I think LGD has to ban the Storm last, especially when they see the Lifestealer, the delivery method. So I think Puck or Storm looking for EG, probably to be the best two. Hard to catch for Bat.
Yep.
Overall good throughout the game.
Terrorblade, though, would be pretty good for LGD. I would love Terrorblade right here.
Wyvern, though, versus TB is... Wyvern's pretty good.
PL? PL then? PL is probably a little bit
PL or
better.
TB, I think, for LGD.
Either are fine.
Good call.
Yeah,
TB.
great call.
It's aight.
One of the best versus Lifestealer, yep.
Yeah, you don't care so much about dying to the bombs. You just need to, and you can actually just kill him during rage, which I don't really think PL has that option.
PL's very slow, too, yeah.
10 seconds.
All right, final bans, final
So,
picks.
yeah, it should be Storm
Has
or
to be
Pug.
Storm.
I would say Storm is way more problematic.
Yeah. I think EG has... Yeah, they'll probably go either the Storm or the Puck, yep.
Then EG also worried about maybe's hero last one. Could maybe play. I could actually see him playing Lesh. Like Lesh versus the Winter Wyvern.
Really?
Yeah, he likes that mid Lesh.
Okay.
He could also go for something more safe like Mirana.
He could take the Storm.
Could, but he's up against a much more difficult lineup to play Storm against, I would say.
Also, I'll tell you what he does favour a lot of recently is SF. I know we haven't seen a huge amount.
Yeah.
It's not particularly great in the meta right now, but
It's not great.
Too slow with Terrorblade
it is,
on the same
it is
team.
quite slow, yeah.
And they have 2 BKB piercing ultis,
Yeah.
which is really bad for SF.
So Puck banned out from EG. I mean, this isn't yelling Storm Spirit. I don't know what it is, right? Because maybe we could be completely wrong, though.
Do you think that's dangerous, though, banning out the Puck on that side? Knowing that they might have to choose it themselves, or could have?
They must have just not wanted it in the first place then. They banned out Zeus from LGD.
Wow.
So we've seen the Zeus versus Terrorblade from LFY many times. It just takes a dump on the hero.
It's one of those auto bans for LGD. So
And
Mirana.
just-
Yeah, that was the next one on the list.
Air Spirit pretty good versus Mirana, though. So is Lifestealer if you close the gap. So gap closer for EG. So what other things other than Storm, even though that's more than likely what they're looking at? It's
Quap,
not
I
great.
suppose.
Lena?
Quap or Storm?
Lena, I think, struggles a lot versus Bat, and you can't carry the Lifestealer. Right now, they don't have a good way to get Lifestealer into the fights, so that's what we're looking for, the high mobility heroes like Puck, Puck, Quap, and Storm would be the main 3 that we're looking at, but I'm sure we're missing one.
That's why I thought it was odd that they banned the Puck. Because if LGD then decide to ban the Storm...
It has to be the Storm.
Yeah.
Just have to be.
Yep. They surely saw that coming, though. I guess they just don't care.
I think they're going to dual roam on him really hard, sanking Mirana, just try to punish him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just pleased we get a Samael Storm. Usually pretty impressive.
Yeah. Surprised they let it through. I'm like kind of excited to see it, but at the same time, it didn't really come as a surprise. So I know that LGD are ready for it.
They had to know.
I'd be way more excited if none of us saw it coming and they'd be like, "Oh, God, they just stormed them." But it's not like that this game.
No. Prediction time.
Ben, you go first.
I'll go with LGD again.
Okay. And production, you already know what folks are going to pick, so that's fine.
Let's see it.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, production.
Right, we are ready for game number 2. Another split decision here. Difficult draft for both teams. Who's coming out on top in game number 2? EG, remember, have to win this one to stay alive. Or can LGD make it grand final? Let's head back to Blitz.
While this tournament and the tournament been full of drafting surprises, this game certainly is not. Our panelists called Storm Spirit far, far ahead, and so if they can call it, I'm sure LGD can as well. We also have the Bane for Universe, which would have been a surprise before yesterday's game, but now we've already seen it in action. Blitz, seeing as both teams have read each other pretty thoroughly, who do you give the advantage to?
Honestly, Fogged and his NA bias
disgusting.
Really disappoints me, and
really ruining the panel for me right now.
As an NA player, I have to take the other side and say that EG is definitely going to win this game and secure things up one-on-one. It's very obvious to me, Cap.
How so?
It's
How obvious, William?
Very obvious. So, I think it's a really good Storm game, though.
Yes.
And that's... If I'm gonna analyze anything, it's how easy of a Storm game is it.
Sure.
Like, that's probably gonna be the one that I'm most accurate on. Like once you grab a Linken's and a BKB, it's pretty hard for them to kill that Storm.
Meanwhile, LGD do have some real big anti-lifestealer heroes.
Yeah.
So I can see why this game, I mean, most games are kind of primarily on the Storm Spirit, but I feel like this game more than others because they've got a Bane core, which obviously you're not going to rely on for the late game and carrying this game, and Lifestealer's pretty heavily countered Terrorblade, Mirana, Batrider.
This game, a lot of it is going to come down to the Storm Spirit. Because if you notice too, he's their only wave clear. Like he's going to be the one to split the map a lot.
Yeah, you got Wyvern, but yeah, I could see what you're saying.
Like Wyvern, it's a bit different because Wyvern's more when it pushes into you, whereas Storm's the one that's going to be pushing the wave.
And it's not like you're excited for the farm that Wyvern's getting out of pushing the waves.
But QQQ is up here. And he might actually do this trick where he's trying to stop the range creep from coming up through first. Yeah. And EG might actually just catch him out here. And they're going to make the go.
Oh, no.
Roll, no.
Right as QQQ backed up.
That was so big. If they manage to grab that kill, then Universe pretty much gets a free lane to start. And they've committed a lot to this. There's 3 heroes up here. And once again, RTZ going to be in a one-on-one position. But this time, the Batrider is not as good as the Enchantress. Because at least the Enchantress can like right-click you and it hurts.
They are going to be able to get the stun in top lane, start going onto Universe, but there's that big brain sap turnaround. The guys, you got to stop going on this Bane. They're still going to try and finish him off, but a Fairy Fire save is going to be able to keep him one step ahead of the right clicks. LGD will protect QQQ, but Ame has already blown his Metamorphosis and has lost a lot of regen, so it seems like a big win here for EG. I can't believe LGD tried to fight that one. Brain Sap, the most value skill, level 1 when it comes to fighting, and now Ame's going to be caught in by their roll in from Crit. They couldn't get Yao back here in time, and it seems like this lane is just going to be obliterated by EG.
Yeah, the other 2 lanes are going really well for EG right now, as the Lifestealer should have absolute free farm here at bottom. The Storm is going to do just fine against the Mirana mid, as we see that already early on. So foreseeably, we could see 3 out of 3 lanes being won by EG, and the weird part is that they should have known that that was happening. When you see the Earth Spirit roll out, it's no longer a surprise when they...
And there's no Wyvern hero showing bottom ever. Now Ame doesn't have Metamorphosis, so he's going to be pretty easily run at. Last time we saw Bane win a 1v2. This time we're seeing Bane win the Tri versus Tri lane as they're going to kill LGD again, the 3rd kill in a row in under just 2 minutes. And Ame has this gigantic creep wave on him, so he's going to have to run himself into the trees, and EG are going to pursue all the way. Ame does have a Quelling Blade as well as 1 more Tanko, so he can cut through trees pretty well. Does manage to get the reflection on most of EG, but the roll-in from Crit doesn't quite block Ame in, and now a really good stun from Yao does go out. Universe has another Brain Sap though, so he's not really in trouble. Maybe it's Fear who's going to be the one potentially going on, but they can't even really fight this one out, it seems, with EG. Fear's going to be kind of stuck here. Does have a Splinter Blast, though. It's going to be able to get the kick in. Fear bringing Yao lower and lower. Does manage to get the Burrow Strike in. Universe hoping to be able to catch up. Fear gets one last right click in, but can't manage to get the kill on Yao. And Yao's a little bit too far away for Universe to be able to pursue, so he just does damage where he can onto Ame. But Ame, he's too much armor for Universe to be able to fight him with just physical damage. So they're going to have to back away. It looks like EG finally did overextend themselves, but they continue to keep pressure on that top lane, making life miserable for Terrorblade.
Yeah, Terrorblade right now has 6 CS, hasn't been able to do too much. He's already going to have to go back, only level 2 right now. Not exactly the kind of start that you want your carry to have, and meanwhile at bottom, Arteezy going to get gone on by the Batrider, who FI's done a pretty good job of keeping up in this lane. He can also pull the creep wave back once he pushes in like this, which is what you expect to happen. And he's going to do so, deny some farm from this Lifestealer. But so far, I'd say that the laning phase is favoring EG quite heavily. 3-1 right now. Their Storm Spirit's getting absolute farm. And with Storm, for the most part, if you're trading 50-50 on farm, you're going to be really happy about that.
Even later on to the game, when they start rotating pretty heavily on mid, which I'm a little bit surprised they haven't done yet, the Storm Spirit can just back out, right? He can, if he feels like his lane is ever in trouble, he could just go farm jungle.
And that's why they're okay with the aggressive tri-laning cap. And that's precisely it, because he can just give up the lane to somebody else. He'll go jungle, and one of the 2 supports that are underleveled will eventually pick up some levels here. But in mid, Sumail gonna get a little bit low, as is maybe, but likely just to back out. Has that bottle crow coming, and the same option isn't available for this Mirana without that Mask of Madness cap. She can't just go jungle when she feels like it, at her leisure. Sure, you can arrow 1 creep, but Star Falling takes a little bit of time. Without that really attack speed early on. Yep. Whereas Storm can just pretty much zap out repeatedly.
Yeah, you're going to see him do that now in the off-lane jungle. Roll in. Oh, what a huge kill. The 2 supports just killed maybe's Mirana mid.
Yeah, and he thought that because the Storm Spirit was running away, lane's going to reset a little. But during this time, Sumail just trying to grab his level 6, and this is what we just talked about. Storm goes to the jungle, the supports take over mid, and this is how they're going to reset their game. And
they could get the value shrine usage too.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
This is so big for them.
To see those.
Because now you've got an almost level 4, I think, on both supports.
Yeah, Wyvern being a bit closer than our Earth Spirit. Maybe is going to pick up his Moonlight Shadow here. Oh, they're actually going to get the sleep set up into the Splinter Blast, already bringing Ame down to half HP. Now, Crit actually wanted to go for QQQ. Q turning around and hoping to be able to save. Ame does slow down some of these heroes, but it's going to cost him his life. Throws out the Ice Path, but will be brought down. And another Metamorphosis used under pressure that is ultimately going to be used for not a whole lot, just a little bit of neutraling.
He's going to jungle right there with that, but not exactly what he wanted to do. Unable to touch the lane, really. 18 CS right now, has less than the Bane, who's not really known for his farming prowess.
Crit's going to run into Yao. They can get a Burrow Strike arrow? Burrow Strike arrow?
No.
Nah?
He's just going to run away from that, I guess.
All right,
very
cool.
casual, but...
Surely that was a kill.
Most likely, it's level 2 arrow, the double starfall without raindrops. Crit just got raindrops. But they hesitated for half a second, didn't really react to him running by. And EG up to a much better start this game. What are you laughing at?
Half a second?
I mean, yeah, he had a while.
He definitely had a while, but maybe I was just a little bit afraid of Storm Spirit.
I think what was most likely happening is he was just watching somewhere else.
Yeah.
Really quickly. Probably didn't have his eyes on that. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, this is a hard game for the supports, man. Now they can't really gank mid very well. The Storm Spirit has an escape mechanism. Bottom lane is a life stealer, so it's kind of a dead lane there as well. I guess with the Bat Rider picking up level 6 and having Lasso, maybe he could, you know, they force out Rage and then he grabs some, then they use Disables after the Rage. I don't know, it sounds like a complicated mess that's hard to pull off.
The upside, though, of all of this is the Bat Rider is going to grab a level 6 very quickly with the Blink Dagger.
Sure.
Like, his Blink is not that far away. He's even going to stack some Ancients for his TP.
So, you know, I was recently playing Bat Rider, trying to get better at the hero and stuff.
Yes, sir.
And you explained to me the difference in Blink Dagger and drums first. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I think drums, if you're going to go for the pure laning perspective and you want to be as annoying as possible and you're not the solo initiator, then I think it's okay to go for the drums. Tank up a little bit, be a little bit harder to kill. Plus, if you're not having a best of times, going for that 2250 gold straight up is really hard. So if you're having a horrible game, then going for these mini items like going for the Bracer, hold that thought as
Initiation, maybe he's going to be silenced up, but he even has the balls to throw out the Starstorm instead of just leaping straight away. Had 9 magic 1 charges, so he was definitely good top lane. Universe is going to go for a kill solo with the Fiend's Grip. Fiend's Grip might not be enough to kill QQQ, so just the right click will have to do. With Phase Boots, Universe does a lot of damage.
Man, this offlane Bane.
And Sumail, he gets lucky here and manages to get a rune. It could be a kill, but doesn't get anything. It's a double damage at top lane instead.
Yeah, Mirana going to pick that up herself. But just to complete that thought real fast, it's sort of just based on who you need to initiate, who you need to do stuff. You know the Sand King's going to get a very late blink because of all that happened at top.
So is this because we're kind of losing the lanes? Lifestealer's a hard hero to deal with. We need that kind of hard initiation for SK to be able to have an opportunity to do things, for us to get Ice Path on top and Arrow. Like, there's a lot of things they just don't have the hard initiation. If they have the hard initiation, they have the follow-up.
Yeah, it's not even for RTZ. It's more for the Storm Spirit. I think they have to slow down the Storm's game as much as possible.
Yeah.
But both cores right now, all 3 cores, like, this is the disastrous situation. Of course, LGD doesn't know this, but right now, all 3 cores on EG, top of the net worth chart. Worst thing that could start the game right now. We always talk about how some cores have to give up part of their game. Well, if none of your cores have to give up any part of their game...
It's a pretty easy transition into the 15-minute to 25-minute marker where everyone on your team is ahead.
Yeah. The game is so obvious when you win all 3 lanes. The game becomes a lot more clear. Like, your moves don't have to be as rushed because you have that baseline of farm already. Whereas if you're behind in all 3 lanes, you're losing all 3 lanes, you still have to get farm, but at the same time, you have to look for fights. And every successive fight that doesn't work out, you get further and further behind.
So you could say that EG's plan from here on out should be protecting the advantage that they have?
Protect Artur at all costs. Protect Sumail at all costs.
Okay.
I was going to make a little B reference, but I didn't know how to do that.
The blue squad?
Yeah.
Blue squad roll up.
Protect Mr. S.
6-1. Not that much of a net worth lead. We're creating a lot of doom and gloom for LGD. You know, all the cores are ahead and everything. But an overall net worth chart, it actually doesn't look terrible for LGD at the 10-minute mark. And they certainly have heroes that where if you win one team fight, you can very easily start snowballing. That's particularly what's good about Terrorblade, right? Is that the fear of losing a fight and immediately losing a lot of objectives.
Plus, as a core matchup, he's quite nice against Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Because Lifestealer, I mean, he doesn't have a stun or anything like that, so if he gets in close, Terrorblade can just use...
A roll in, silence! Oh, maybe. Too quick on the fingers.
Damn,
he's able to get the leap before crit.
That was really fast. Does that simultaneously. But yeah, Lifestealer, not going to match up the best in the ultra late game.
They're going to go for a smoke gank on bottom lane.
He's got
it's just
dagger.
Kind of been chilling out.
Sumel's not showing on the map, and they can't waste any gank attempts.
Yeah.
They're going to run into Arteezy right
his
here.
Rune. There's the rage into the lasso.
They can't arrow, though.
And Arteezy does not have an infest. You need to be able to hit a burrow strike here, but he gets done burst by crit. Now silence. Oh, no, this has gone terribly for LG. They're going to get caught. Fiend's Grip from Universe catches Yao. And instead of a kill, that first critical Blink Dagger timing into a core kill fails, and LGD lose their support instead.
And the problem right there was that the Batrider was invis, but the Mirana wasn't. She was smoked up. But when she ran uphill...
Long jump up the top lane, Samael. He knows that there are plenty of heroes in the bottom lane that were showing. Nobody's here to be able to protect QQQ. He's hoping to be able to create some space, but instead just ends up feeding away.
That would have been... That was a really important kill for them to try to nab. And the Lifestealer being able to get Rage off first denies that opportunity, and it just wastes the Mirana farm. On top of that, she has a lot of items queued up. That's optimistic.
Trying to go out for the all diffuse blade Manta. TZ dodges the Starstorm damage. Continues to stand in front of any pushes from LGD.
And right now, Bane set up near this bottom area. No Fiend's Grip and nobody near him.
Oh, Yao can get a double stun here. He's going to be able to get the double burrow into the arrow, but he's going to be blocked by Arteezy with the rage. So good play there from Arteezy, saving his support. And we'll be able to get a counter kill from Yao. 9-1, continuing to roll in. Samael optimistic they can grab more kills, but maybe it's Universe who can set up for the team. Nightmare has already been blown. No Fiend's Grip up yet, so FY will get away to safety. But not much of the map that's going to be safe soon. Very rapidly, EG is closing in on their item timings. They can get the Bloodstone and Fest Bomb. I struggle to see how well LGD is going to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, and 9-1 start so far. EG
Arteezy
much
could
better
get
this
Scott
game.
here. Yep, they had the lasso. This time around, they're going to be able to follow up with the Sables or not. Cold Embrace. Oh no. Now the Winter's Curse. Arteezy's going to be able to live through this potentially. He's got the movement speed with the phase boots to run himself away from LGD quite easily. LGD bungling all of their Lifestealer attempts at Fiend's Grip. Universe onto the Sand King with the silence. Again? They might be able to get that kill. Again, these arrows just not working out for LGD. FY maybe going to get caught. Crit does roll on top of him, and it's just enough slow to prevent FY from landing on the other side of the cliff as Firefly wears out. Asleep. An extra kill here. QQQ gobbled up by Arteezy. That was supposed to be yet another free kill on the Lifestealer. And instead, LGD, wait, what's going on here? Are they really going to try and fight this one? There's so many heroes of EG here, but they're going to try and get the low HP ones. First crit is going to go down to the nukes at maybe, and Arteezy is going to be forced to go for a Rage TP out, which is successful.
Yeah, they're going to reset here. And some things you want to highlight in that fight is as the Sand King was coming in from the right, Universe spots that coming in. He knows that Arteezy's rage is going to fade, so he sleeps the Sand King. Then they make the counter turnaround. Arteezy then, for the second time this game, blocks the arrow, runs in with the rage. They manage to pick up kills themselves. Nice rebuttal kill on that Earth Spirit, but definitely not what they wanted to get out of that. And LGD, they just can't catch any breaks. We saw the Firefly run out at the last possible second. Could have likely ran away if that doesn't happen. He was at the very edge of the lip.
A Winter's Curse setting things up. Crit's going to roll in with Lifestealer inside. Ame's not going to be able to get off Rups. Oh, he almost did, actually.
No Sunder for him, and now they're going to make their move onto this Jakiro, who's here to try to back him up. FY also down here, but he's just going to blink out.
Fast Universe is, man. Bass boots, drums.
400 move speed.
Yeah. And Sumail's just farming during this time. They won that fight. He TP'd to mid lane, pushed into that tower. Now he's top lane, pushing into another tower.
He's going to get Bloodstone.
So fast.
15 by the end of the... probably like 16, 20 or something like that.
Grabbing Fear. This is what the lassos are being used for now.
Yeah.
At least it'll get them more damage on that mid-tier 1 and maybe even finish it off. Crit's rolling in here.
It's a reliable kill. They really needed one of those.
They certainly do.
But
Silence on maybe. This time Crit is successful, and they're all going to be able to get the 2-man stun. Silence, or Sleep rather, onto Yao. But they didn't manage to complete any of the TPs, so it's really just Universe and Crit by themselves, and they're both going to die to LGD's 4-man.
A little bit sloppy there. They essentially ran in 2v4. Neither of the other cores were willing to fight or ready to fight. Trying to make that happen, he sleeps the Sand King, starts gripping the Mirana, but the Ice Path followed up.
There's something to be said for the game going this well. Like, they're trying to make it perfection, you know? Like, oh, let's not let this mid tower go down without a great fight.
Yeah.
They're just forcing themselves too much. EG can definitely take things slow with where Storm Spirit and Lifestealer are at right now.
It just felt, like you said, that they wanted to protect everything, get a little bit too greedy on the map, but that mid-tier 1 is very important. We've talked about it at length in our previous cast, how it controls that bottom area jungle. Once you lose the bottom tier 1 and the mid tier 1, then the game becomes a lot easier for Dire to play. Their offensive smokes make a lot more sense. But EG, I think they want to take the mid tower themselves. They got the Bloodstone on the Storm Spirit. This is a very good timing for them. There's absolutely no hero that can fight the Storm right now on the map.
And they're showing the Lifestealer too, so I don't think LGD really expect this. The smoke is going to pop though. Crit tried to go for the silence. They're still going to make the jump catch on maybe though. They do have the kick that's going to be able to follow that stun up an arrow. He actually nailed Sumail and he doesn't have the damage down. The Thunder goes off. The sleep goes down just a little bit too late and Sumail ends up dying. He was supposed to be able to fight through all of this now. Ame does not have a second life, so they are going to be able to bring him down, but LGD, they look to be in a great position to be able to win this outright. Arteezy controlled up by Lasso. Winter's Curse laid down, hoping to be able to save him, but an arrow came in from maybe stalling up Arteezy's retreat. A rage, and now a Cold Embrace, buying him a little bit of time, but Crit, you can't do it. You can't save the carry. Sumail's back. Second life, hoping to be able to get those Bloodstone charges back, plus a Haste Rune. He's going to go in deep, but he's out of mana, out of damage to be able to catch up with FY, and FY just might be able to escape from this situation. He does not have a TP scroll, but has a blink up in 3 seconds. Found by Sumail, though, caught underneath his tier 1 tower, and it's going to be a brain sap from Universe to finish him off. Sumail gets back to 10 Bloodstone charges, but I have to say, I still feel like that was not a bad fight for LGD whatsoever.
No, not at all, and it starts with that initiation. Sumail zips in, doesn't see the arrow coming from his right. We're going to see the replay right here. Zips in, the rest of his team not quite ready. The stone going to kick in, thought that he was going to get an easy kill right there, but instead the arrow connects, the Sunders there. They do manage to kill both the cores though, and even grab the third in the Bat Rider, but still not exactly how you want to use that Bloodstone. At the same time, the Storm Spirit, when you get that fresh Bloodstone at this early on in the game, you're going to instantly respawn. Very nice Winter's Curse. They do grab Arteezy here, but Sumail zips in, manages to clean up.
And it just comes down to Sumail, right? If he dodges that arrow, they had the damage to kill the Terrorblade before he gets off the Sunder during that stun duration time. And then that fight looks so much different.
That's the only way they kill him.
Yeah, they wouldn't have the damage coming down from Terrorblade to really threaten Arteezy whatsoever, and he would just run into the rest of LGD.
That was like 1,000 damage Sunder. If he doesn't get that Sunder off, they kill the Terrorblade, then I think it's a lot more clear-cut, and LGD have to be the ones to run back.
Yeah.
But as it stands, it's now a 2,000 gold lead for EG. Been diminished greatly. We see that graph jutting downwards as maybe has that Diffusal Blade. Really needs that Manta style though if he's going to be good against this Storm Spirit. And they're going to have to start getting a little bit more items. The Sand King has to get some items himself. The Blink Dagger now arriving on him, freshly picked up. This is going to be how they kill the Storm Spirit. They don't know that this is on the Sand King, and this is why they're making this aggressive maneuver in. The Storm Spirit, he's at 10 Bloodstone charges. If he loses any more, the
bottom lane's pushing in, so they're expecting someone to be there, right?
Yeah.
Probably the Storm, hoping the Storm.
This is going to be a nice clash.
Smoke for smoke is going to reveal, though. They get the initiation first on the Universe with the arrow follow-up, but the silence really well placed by Crit is going to be able to stall up a lot of the damage. The Universe actually gets to sleep on himself. He's still going to end up going down, but LGD's initiation completely out of it. Both Bat Rider and the Sand King end up going down, and they don't even get anything that big. Maybe he's going to be caught as well. Does not have the leap. And Ame
barely gets out. Winner's
Almost
curse.
caught by Fear. Oh, and another long jump. Samael completely out of mana. I was hoping he would be able to catch QQQ, but he doesn't have any allies to follow him up. So he's back up to 13 Bloodstone charges now.
Very nice. And it was the timing on Crit Silence. You saw the Batrider jump at the same exact time as the Sand King, but they only managed to grab the Bane in the beginning. Not the kind of initiation that they want, and they didn't expect to see all of EG down there. But all of a sudden, they gain another 1,000 gold. They didn't kill the Terrorblade this time, though. And that's going to be important for his progression. As we see in the replay, the first jump on the Bane, the silence timing.
So huge. Do you think that EG had a good idea of LGD making that rotation?
Oh, for sure. They had the ward on top of the cliff.
And that in turn makes sense why they would have Universe as the guy kind of leading the charge, because he's the tankiest. He's down to take all the damage and the initiation.
Definitely knew that was coming.
That was not...
Oh, yeah.
Don't know how that happened, but...
Just popped his ulti, saw EG running in, but unable to grab anybody, and that's a big team fight ability for them. I think that's the first time that he's tried that Epicenter. It whiffs. And
should EG just go and take an objective that it's down?
I think so. I'm not sure what the easiest one, though, is. I don't think they want to play the footsie game with Batrider, for example, around that Roshan pit.
Yeah, Rosh sounds hard when you don't have any...
Especially against Bat, but it looks like they want to try anyways.
They don't have any clear minus armor.
No, they can grab this somewhat quickly, though. Like, Lifestealer hits pretty hard. And it's up to LGD right now. They got to respond a little bit faster than this. They've got one of the best heroes at contesting the Roshan in the Batrider, but he's still bottom right now, and this is so crucial. They're going to fire the arrow.
The arrow comes in and is going to nail Crit, who's being mauled by Roshan right now, too. So he's going to be now so low when he comes out of this one. The Batrider's here. F1 does not have his fire, so he's not going to be able to get into that pit very easily. He's just going to have to blink in. Yao's going to be the first one in. Now jumps in. Roshan going to be grabbed by RTZ. They're going to be able to pick up the Aegis and fight this one out with LGD, especially with Maybe controlled up by Universe. Omi's trying to finish Universe as best he can, but it's not going to stop that disable. Maybe is able to get out alive, though, and they're controlling up RTZ really well. The Winter's Curse laid into Yao. Oh no, RTZ, his life is going to end. The first one, and he does have it in fence, but no raid, so he's going to be Ice Path straight into the arrow. Here comes the long jump in from Samael, but Artis is already dead. So is most of their damage. Fear, he almost died. He's got the Glimmer Cape buying himself time, but he was Diffusal Plate, so he's not going to go very far. Flies himself on top of the cliffs and goes for a TP out. Great play from Fear, managed to survive there. But LGD, I mean, you were speculating. Roshan, I don't think you can actually do this without LGD contesting, and sure enough, that's exactly what they do, and you get a masterful fight in the process.
And this is the meta of Dota, is that all these teams ahead, behind, they're going to contest that Roche area if they know about it. LGD, unfortunately for them, they didn't have that Firefly, but they still went in. That arrow connected early on. It was able to spot them. That Ice Path into the stun. Sumel already getting so low. He was mass clicking on the ground, had a little bit of mana, but that burn from the Jakiro didn't quite expect that damage, and they split this fight up so well. Universe with that grip, unable to do too much on top of that, and they lose that Aegis.
He spent that whole entire fight just whamming onto people. First it was Universe while he was Fiend's gripping, then it was RTZ.
Nobody was on top of him. He was completely untouched on that fight. Very good timing by them. Sumel zips in thinking that there's still a fight to be had, and that's got to be a frustrating one for EG.
Absolutely, and a bit of redemption for LGD. The early part of their game did not go so well. All right. Well, that's just going to happen.
Can't go for that ward.
Yeah.
Nobody near him. Mirana showing at bottom. A little bit greedy.
Very greedy.
Now Batrider, Cap. Looks like he's going for the Aghanims. Everyone's starting to get slotted up. That Terrorblade, they did such a good job. Remember how far behind he was. He had a TP back at level 2 out of his lane, got dove a few times. Now he's got a Mantis style. And this is the point where this matchup starts to become a little bit scary for this Lifestealer.
I mean, it's funny, our timing was looking like for the Storm Spirit, he was going to have Orchid well before Terrorblade or Mirana had Manta. But now it's looking like we've already got the Manta on the Terrorblade, and it looks like maybe he's going to be able to pick one up pretty well in time with the Orchid pickup from Samael. So it's not even like we're going to be able to get a wide window for Samael to be able to work his magic in the solo pickoffs. They've got the items to counter the silence.
And that's really annoying for Storm players, is you get this Orchid, then everyone, you kind of have to, because it also just increases your DPS, the mana regen that it gives you. but you grab it, then everyone has a Manta, and your first jump that we always talk about being so important on heroes like Storm, when you first zip in, you orchid somebody, you're already out of half your mana, you've used your disable.
You need to be able to get that first kill at Storm Spirit when you make that kind of commitment, right?
The good news, though, is that if they're not fast enough, if LGD don't get that timing right, then it's very easy for Sumail to just get the zip in, pull, then go for the orchid, and then you can burst them right after that. But LGD, they went for a smoke and the Moonlight Shadow. They're going to come up empty-handed. And LGD, now they have to shove out their lanes. They're going to show their map a little bit. And this might be EG's time to go now.
Push out mid.
Maybe go for a smoke of their own soon. They grab a gem on the Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, they definitely need it with the Moonlight Shadow initiations and Ward Vision in general just being so key right now. They still have their 2 heroes, their 2 cores at top of the net worth chart, 11,000 apiece. Terrorblade, little bit farther back, but is beginning to pick up steam. The Bane, what does the Bane do here for you now? Like going into the mid game, we saw from the Draw Ranger game what Bane was able to accomplish in that 1v2 plus the Draw Aura. Looked really good, looked fantastic. They closed out the game super fast. So my question to you is Blitz, what does a Bane do in a game that's a lot more even and when you start going later on, post 25 minutes?
It's a little bit more complicated because in that game, their lineup was clearly structured around trying to end the game somewhat early. And in this game, I think it was more structured on trying to win all the lanes and shut down this Terrorblade enough so that EG can just take out all the major structures and objectives, which they were able to do in the beginning. But that Roshan attempt and that fight kind of swung things around and reset things, and you've done all the damage that EG accomplished early. Is they're going to get a gem now on Sumail if he loses that. If you lose a gem to a Batrider, give him a freebie. 900 gold net swing.
That's why it's so important for them to get the right kind of initiation here, but LGD is pretty skittish. They're not showing anywhere on the map right now. Their lanes are in good position too. Bottom is still kind of pushed out.
Gonna get spotted out. FY knows that they're smoked.
They're gonna be able to jump forward. FY is gonna be snagged up though, but here comes Yao. He's gonna be able to get an epicenter in, but it looks like he was not able to get his blink dagger off. He runs himself away from this fight. LGD have already given it up, but it seems the Batrider is down, and it looks like QQQ is also gonna be caught. Sumail, another Bloodstone charge for him. Even though he was spotted, LGD were not able to get the right kind of rapid reaction they needed to get themselves out of that team fight.
Just a weird 2 seconds of Dota as the Sand King doesn't complete that jump in. I think he realized that it was hopeless. But at the same time, the Batrider saw the Bane break his smoke. Probably one of the better opportunities that he's going to get. But that hesitation, Sumail understands they're in that trees. Let's go. He zips in. No hesitation at all from him.
Do you think Batrider should have blinked backwards, or do you think he should have tried to initiate faster?
You either commit or you run there.
Yeah.
Because
either
EG
one,
knows.
you just have to go immediately.
You either back up as a group, you make that conscious decision, or you take that fight. You just go on the first target that you see, because you know that EG is going to be there as 5 once that smoke breaks. It's a mid-game smoke. They're not going to do these 2-3 man smokes anymore. These are 5-man commitments.
There was farming time for Ame, and he really wants his BKB against Evil Geniuses.
That was like a 700 gold lead at some point, and now it's back up to 2K.
So I'm going to tell you what I kind of look at this game. I look at this game as EG, like, okay, you want to win the laning phase, that's great. You want to try and snowball with Storm Spirit and Lifestealer, but if that doesn't work out, we're going to have to go late game with the Storm and see if he can be the be-all, end-all hero. While LGD, they just had to survive early. They're going to hit this big mid-game timing where Terrorblade, where they're going to be knocking down buildings, they're going to be threatening high ground, and then I don't know what happens late game. Is that a correct assessment, or do you think LGD are actually looking much stronger in the mid to late game than that?
I think that their way of initiating is a little bit more reliable in the Batrider. The problem with Storm is that until you get a few more defensive items, you're always susceptible to being blown up, and you're the main source of initiation for EG. So things are a little bit dangerous there. It is still kind of a coin flip because I still think it's a really nice Storm game, but the successive team fights, it kind of depends on who jumps who, as we saw right there. When EG got jumped in the Roche pit, it was very dominant in LGD's favor, even with the Aegis.
Oh, crit. It might be grabbed here. Nancy gets the Dual Scepter immediately on FY. Great precast as FY goes in. They're going to try for the epicenter, though. Do manage to get a two-man Burrow Strike with a reflection on top, and Ame actually got nightmared up and isn't able to output any damage, so Arteezy is going to be able to get a lot. Plus Sumail, he picks up the kill and manages to get out, but Arteezy, no longer having the rage, is actually going to drop the gem there. Sumail no longer had it. Looks like they didn't need the damage from Ame, with a combination of team fight spells from LGD in such a small little gap. Looks like a huge win for them, as they are going to be able to get the Ice Path on Universe, preventing him from running himself away. Cold Embrace plus Glimmer Cape is not going to do much, especially since they gave away a gem. What fear? You can't give another kill to LGD. Oh no.
You saw Ame's positioning. He runs down the cliff so that he catches the Winter Wyvern in the reflection, and now he's metamorphosis up. 4 heroes are dead on the side of EG. Perfect time for them to counter push, and the wheel swings the other way as they grab the gem now. That's going to give them the net worth advantage and a very big gem pickup.
Nothing like giving away a gem. Now LGD have control of the map right as Roshan is about to spawn.
Yeah.
Potential timer starts right now.
Oh, by the way, the one that he had picked up, it was the Bat Riders. And so they didn't lose their own gem.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes,
Look
we're going to see the replay here.
I mean, the Eul Scepter was great, but boy, it set up Yao for a big-time initiation. Yeah. Look at the Ame's actually stuck there against the Sand King. So he's like, ah, screw it, I'll just run in reflection. Hit from the low ground.
And the Winter's Curse was used on him too.
Yeah, with the Nightmare already on him. If that had been thrown on maybe maybe, then perhaps Evil Geniuses could have gotten themselves out of that fight a little bit cleaner. But instead, maybe pretty much goes uncontested with his Manta. It just starts whooping some butt. They really need that AC for Arteezy. He's having a hard time dealing with all this physical damage. And Sumail is trying to get that that link in so he doesn't have to worry about the initiation of the lasso, which was dealt with by the Eul Scepter from Crit, but it was the follow-up of the Burrow Strike that caused a lot of damage to him.
And looks like he's actually going for the Shivas.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, he just... Oh.
Go for some of the clearing on the illusions. Play a little bit riskier here. The armor going to be effective. Hurricane Pike now completed on the Terrorblade. That's going to help him deal with the Lifesteal a little bit better, who just finished the AC.
That's a very teamfight focused item rather than the opportunity to split push.
Yeah. Still, big invis here. EG holding
Arrow
the high ground.
Goes out. Only nails the neutral creep though.
And the Terrorblade illusion going to spot all of them. They might make the long wraparound here. They're trying to get some vision off.
Seems like once again LGD have that big vision initiation
Stuns
advantage.
on cooldown though on Sand King.
Maybe he's going to be running into EG here. This is super awkward. FY is going to make his jump. Does manage to grab the Storm Spirit, but maybe lines up for the arrow. Actually going to be pulled out of the way, so Sumail is not hit by that one. Arteezy turns on FY. Sumail comes in, manages to finish him up. Here comes Yao. He's going for the epicenter. Big one, perhaps potentially on the Storm Spirit. Holds on. Tries to go for the blink down. Gets him. Deals a bolt. A big play as Ame comes in. Manages to get the physical damage onto Arteezy, and he's out of here. He's got to get an infest. Perhaps onto Crit, who's going to roll himself away. They lost Sumail, so they can't take this fight anymore. And they're going to have to look to defend their tier 3.
And a lot of hesitation from Yao does end up paying off, but at the same time, LGD largely fighting 4v5 there, but they do have 2 gems. That's going to be the big pickup. Well worth the death on either of their heroes that they lost.
Boy, that Eul Scepter. I don't know if like Chikiro made the call that he was going to Euls, and so that's why Yao didn't jump right away. But there was definitely a little bit of... it felt like it was going to be a kind of dysfunctional fight if Yao tried to Burrow Strike right away. Yeah.
They were trying to drag things further to the cliff on the right because they knew there was no vision up there with the gem. And so he was trying to set up for that free epicenter, but that fight was still really awkward for both sides. And now EG going to play very decisively here, try to get that Roshan fight.
I mean, has EG had a team fight that wasn't awkward? Yeah, this could be just another one where they're caught inside the Roshan pit, and the arrow nails Sumail. Okay, Yao. You don't have epicenter, so you don't have that big damage, but you can still follow up with a Burrow Strike. He's going to be able to get it on too. Pop out, Yao. He's almost going to die immediately, but they managed to get the control. Nightmare onto FY, so he's not going to be able to drag the Arteezy away. Universe almost going down. Sumail actually getting gobbled up by maybe. He just does too much damage with the Diffuser Blade, and now Arteezy is left alone against Ame, and that's never a place he wants to be. Trying around Sunder. Ame gets it off onto Fear, bringing him low with the Ice Path, catching both the supports. LGD clean it up, baby. 5-0 inside of a Roshan pit. A Roshan that is just the cherry on top for LGD to pick.
And a very, very easy one for LGD is that Roshan fight once again. LGD, their lineup is so good around fighting around that small corridor. They just funnel EG one by one. They were trying to go for that Roshan attempt, play it decisively. They felt like they could have taken it very quickly, but LGD proving otherwise. Their lineup is so good at taking that fight. That engagement with the Bat Rider and the Sand King, they're never going to get better initiations than that. Yao just walked in, stunned 2 people with no issues. Sumail going to make the long zip, try to clear the creep wave. Is going to be successful.
Yeah, Baby almost died from that one.
Yeah, and with Arteezy spawning in 20, they might only be able to grab the tower here. Depends. Oh. They still have the meta up.
I mean, they have Cheese and Aegis. I'm down for them to just keep going. The leap forward. And finally, backdoor protection will drop. There's the jump in, managed to finish off the Aegis. Crit's gonna have to give up his life for that one. Nightmare does find a little bit of time with the Wizard's Curse on Yao. Ame kills his own ally. Now gonna be caught by the Fiend's Grip. None of LGD can actually stop that one, so maybe they can kill it. But Crit, he's having a hard time with the illusions. He has to roll away, but not gonna be able to do so. The cheese goes off from Ame. EG just don't focus the right hero down. And now Ame, Big Bat in charge, will challenge Arteezy to a duel. And Arteezy, he's gonna wilt under pressure. He has to jump inside a creep, infest himself away, and leave his racks to die. LGD winning, what, 5 engagements in a row or something crazy. Looking to be able to close out this game immediately. Go for the second lane of racks. Why the hell not?
They are feeling so confident right now. 30 seconds left on that Storm before he's alive. And LGD, with that Aegis and Cheese, you were right. A little bit too strong for EG. That Mirana does so much damage, and the Terrorblade isn't easy to catch either. And at this point, EG, not a whole lot of options. The initiation isn't quite there for them. The damage isn't there for them. We talked about how, yes, the Terrorblade is going to struggle early, but he is a... This Terrorblade doesn't really fear anything at this point. He has that Force Staff, he's got a Hurricane Pike, Manta style. Arteezy doesn't even know which one to target.
Yeah, now he's got a Linken's too. So say goodbye to any hope of being able to get a single target in silence on him.
Yeah, and if you just think about the range and how he's going to have to fight that, if the Storm immediately goes in, he's going to have to commit both of his disables just to try to lock down that TB.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be enough either. And maybe he's got a Linken's on himself too. Completing up what looks like a Bloodthorn next. That's going to be the counter for the Storm. On top of what they already have. Even though the Bat Rider has suffered, everyone else starting to slot up heavily on LGD.
He could use a refresh on his diffusal here.
Yeah. It felt like Cap like 2 minutes ago. I know it was longer than that, but it felt like 2 minutes ago EG was rocking this 2k gold lead.
Yeah.
And now it's 13k the other way.
EG, they have just been put into the dumpster by LGD for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's been all LGD. The team fights just being dictated by them time and time again. Now there's an Aghanim Scepter on this Bat Rider. And this decision cap is based on the fact that if he jumps one, he's assuming that the Lifestealer, when he infests out, is always going to be next to somebody. They're smoked up. They want to try to play for the win right now. They're already pushing in. They're waiting for somebody from EG to defend. Wards out by the Sand King Yao.
They can get deep into the base where EG probably just won't have the positioning available. He's going to start beating onto that tier 3. Who's going to jump forward? It's going to be Crit. Just a stun, rolling himself back. Now Sumail tries to follow that one up, managed to dodge back. FY unable to be able to get the lasso out, but doesn't waste it. He still got it. Sumail actually out of mana now. The Thunder goes down. Winter's Curse though onto Baby. Oh no, Baby drops so low. The Epicenter is going to be wasted off this one. He's still there to get a 3-man Burrow Strike. Arteezy, he's going to go for wants to be able to take this disable out, but what about Ame? He's throwing out all the damage, and EG can't stand up to it. He's beating down hero after hero, and Sumail doesn't have the mana to do the same. He's out of mana, caught by the Ice Bath, and Ame will bring him down. He challenges 80 and all comers to this fight, but it looks like maybe they'll finally bring enough magic damage. But maybe he's come back. Maybe they can actually win this fight entirely, close out this game, because there's 2 cores that are down from EG with no buyback, and EG do not have the damage from their supports to finish off Ame. He will take down the tier 4s. He'll go into the fountain if he wants to. He can do anything in this goddamn game. He feels like it because LGD rocked the game too and close out this series.
A very... as EG led for the majority of it. LGD had a very rough laning phase. They lost all 3 lanes. Can say that